We're waiting, Reynolds, for a piece of energy to come on down to help trigger some of that severe weather. So we're actually going to go a good chunk of today without seeing any severe. Right now, we've got, you can see some of the flare up on the water vapor this morning. We actually have some thunderstorms offshore, but it's a piece of energy that's to dive down through the jet stream and get into Arkansas. And maybe in Louisiana to help trigger those thunderstorms, which could be severe later today. So here's what's happening right now. There are the thunderstorms that are offshore, and you can see it's all offshore. It's going to stay offshore, so don't worry about those unless you're a boater or a mariner and, don't go out because of that this morning. But then you watch the pattern through the afternoon, and there could be a few pop-up showers through the day today, but it takes until midnight to really get things going up here. Right along that I-40 corridor in Arkansas, we see the line sink south. Damaging winds are going to be the potential. Hail's also potential. And there is that isolated tornado risk, as Reynolds talked about as well, especially into the overnight. And then tomorrow morning, we'll see additional thunderstorms, though the severe risk is going to come down. So maybe some gusty winds, maybe to severe limits, but probably not getting into the Florida Panhandle as we take you through your Sunday. And then Monday morning, all of that is heading out as we get into the south and east. All right, so Little Rock, let's talk about your day today. You spend your morning, it's fine out there, it's cloudy. A couple of thunderstorms are possible. The ones you got to worry about are these right here that come in through the overnight. After you go to bed, you put your kids to bed, it's Saturday night, you put a movie on. Make sure you have a way to get your warnings. Make sure there's something that's going to trigger, because overnight tonight, we are going to be watching for that risk. In fact, here's the timing. This afternoon, couple of showers pop right through the afternoon, the dinner hour. It doesn't look like much just yet. But then we get into the late night hours. This is 9 o'clock. Now the thunderstorms start rolling in. These are the ones that could be severe. Strong damaging winds. I mean, even this is the forecast radar, but could you see this little Boeing shape right there, this little kidney bean type look to the forecast radar? That's the kind of storm that may put down some strong damaging winds. And so we'll watch for that as we get through the overnight. Now this is 1 a.m. If you're still up, you're thinking, should I change my clock or not, or what should I do? Just make sure your phone is able to get warnings. I think that's the key as you get to overnight tonight. Mobile, Alabama. You'll have some showers today, non-severe, and then we get you through tonight and we'll get a break, but then the chance for storms comes back in here tomorrow, and early in the day, there is the chance that we could see some stronger storms, but the severe threat, I think, is a bit farther to your west. All right, now we're going to switch gears and talk more about some of the snow that we've had and the problems it has brought. By this afternoon, and a torcon of 2 in Jackson. In fact, across the Texarkana area today, overall wide reaching, there is a 3 on our torcon. That's a 3 out of 10. What is a torcon? The Tornado Condition Index. I'm going to explain what it is and why we came up with it here at the Weather Channel. Dr. Greg Forbes, really the mastermind behind this, and he's done a lot of work. He worked with Fujita on developing the Fujita and the enhanced Fujita scale. So he has a lot of insight into putting out this probability. It's a 3 out of 10 chance that tornadoes will form within a 50-mile radius. So basically, if your numbers are 3, you just multiply by 10, and that means 30%. And today, it's 3s mostly that we're seeing on our map in terms of the risk for tornadoes. So one of the main risks, though, with the fact that there could be tornadoes is the timing of when they could happen. Overnight is the main risk time for today's thunderstorm outlook. And most frequently in the Mid-South and Dixie Alley is when we see these overnight tornadoes. They are 2.5 times more likely to kill than daytime tornadoes, even if it's just one that happens, right? And so the concern is that you're sleeping, you're not woken up by your warnings, and people are less likely to be able to get to shelter because of that. Here's a look at where nighttime tornadoes have occurred. And again, primarily it's here into Dixie Alley. It's in the Mid-South. You think so much about Tornado Alley out here in the plains, but certainly Dixie Alley tornadoes happen as well, and these are the kind that can be those overnight ones. So Reynolds, what do you do if a tornado? So rain is going to be part of the story, too much of it, and then of course a threat for severe weather. So let's look at all of that. We are looking first at the water vapor, and there's so much here to say. I could do a whole segment on just the water vapor, but I want to point out what's going to cause the severe weather risk. So you see this little spin right up there. That's diving down within our jet stream. It doesn't look like much, right? But that's going to be one of the triggers that we look at for the potential of storms. If you've been watching, you saw that low pressure in the front on the map. That's another trigger that we're going to see as well. We do have thunderstorms this morning. They're offshore. So not a big deal right now, unless you're a mariner, unless you're a boater, or unless you're on the oil rigs actually working out there. Those thunderstorms are affecting you, but they're not affecting land. Now, as we get through the day, dew points keep coming up. The dry line comes in, and that's going to be one of the triggers right here across eastern Texas. That's going to be one of the reasons we have some storms. Another thing is that by tonight, especially overnight, the low-level jet gets going, and that's going to feed right into northern Louisiana and into Arkansas. Watch this low come in at the same time. The upper-level energy not exactly co-located, so it's going to be one of the mitigating factors, actually, in getting a lot of severe weather, thank goodness. But overnight, the low-level jet really starts to ramp up, and that will be one of the main factors in getting us the risk for storms. Right now, dew points are already up to 60 in Dallas, 60 in Lake Charles. The moisture is coming back. You need moisture, you need instability, you need a trigger, and we are going to have all those things, which is why the red zone is here, stretching from Arkansas right back down into Louisiana. So here's a look at the forecast for storms today. There's going to be thunderstorms to start today. We'll see some in Houston in the first half of today. You see that forecast radar here across East Texas, northern Louisiana. Lunchtime, there could be some thunderstorms from Jackson over towards Birmingham, even the Atlanta area, a couple of showers into the late afternoon, early evening. So that I-20 corridor is busy, but overnight, now the thunderstorms get going in Arkansas, and those are the ones that could be severe. The heavy rain threat will be another issue, and, we're going to be looking at 1 to 2 inches of rain across the I-20 corridor in the southeast.